So what's up guys, this is Manoj Kumar back again. So welcome to my channel. Today we are gonna make a Google Gmail style input animation, something like this, using pure Tailwind CSS. So a prerequisite is nothing but you have to get Tailwind CSS installed. If you don't know how, I will just drop a link in the description as well as in the I button. Just check it out. So let's get started. So guys, I have just created an React app and I have installed Tailwind CSS. So that's it. Here you can see that the Tailwind is installed, the Greco file and the Tailwind file. So let me just close this, and you can see the Gmail sign-in page is here. So if I just click this input, it animates nicely. So this text just goes up and the whole thing turns into blue. That's it. That's what we are going to make today. So but we are going to do it in a dark mode. That's it. So let's get started. So guys, first we may have a head screen and BG black. The head screen is nothing but 100 VH, and the BG black gives a background color of black, which I am comfortable with. I'm just going to have a label, and I don't need this HTML4, so let me just eliminate this, and I'm just going to have a class name, and I'm just going to have an input, and the type is, I will leave the type as text, and I'm just going to have a class name as h20 and width of 96, which is nothing but the units are in rem. So I have to add a colon here, quote, so you can see the input is here. And now we will just place this input in the center of our page by adding a flex to this app. By I'm just going to have a flex and justify center, which means justify content center, and an align center, align item center as item center, so which gets our app in the middle of the page. So now I'm just going to have a text of 4XL and a BG black. So I'm just going to give a background as black for this input, so it makes this black. So now I'm just going to give the border as border 2 and a rounded LG, which means a rounded border for us, a large one. And I'm just going to have a border white, which gives a white color for our border. So we can see the white color of our border. So I'm just going to reduce the opacity by border opacity to 15. So you can see the color has been reduced, and now I'm just going to eliminate this outline, which arrives when I on-click this input. So I'm just going to give the outline as none, like so. So if I just click this input, nothing happens. So then I'm just going to have a focus border blue of 500 shade, and focus text dash white. So this focus is nothing but like the active pseudo class in the CSS. So if I just click this input, then the border is converted to a blue color and the text becomes white. like so. By default the text will be of black. So if I on click, the border becomes blue and the text becomes white. So now I'm just going to have a transition duration of 200, which means 2 millisecond. Transition gives a duration of 1.5 milliseconds. I'm just going to need a 2 millisecond. That's why I'm adding this. So now I'm just going to have a span tag. Sorry, I messed up with the spelling. So now we're just going to give it as an input. So now it won't be visible because the color of the text might be in a black color. So we just have to give a class name for that. So I messed up with this n. So now I'm just going to have a text dash 4xl. I'm just giving it a broader text and text of white, which gets a white color. So now the input is visible here. So now I'm just going to have a text opacity of 80, which reduces the opacity to 0.8. and now I'm just going to have a position absolute. Before having this absolute, we have to make this label as relative. So I'm just going to have a relative position for this label, and here I'm just going to have absolute and left 0 and top 4, so which gets into this text box like so. And I'm just going to give a margin x as 6 and padding x as 2, so which gets into a bit of center here. And then I'm just going to have a transition duration for this also to 2 millisecond, like duration 200, which gives a 2 millisecond transition duration for us. And I'm just going to have a custom class name called input txt so that we can style this input text by animating this. Usually we can just animate this input by just Tailwind. We need the app.css file, so this is where app.css comes into play. So here you can see that the input cursor is pointing this end, but I need it in where this input starts. So I'm just going to have a padding x of 6 here also. So this makes this in the start of this input like so. So now I'm just going to open this app.css file, and you can see the Tailwind base components utilities are already present in this app.css. So now I'm just going to have the input, and I'm going to select the type as txt, and I'm just going to have a focus, and I'm going to select the next child by this operator and dot input dash txt, which our input text class is selected by this operator. So let me just have this, and I'm going to use the apply directive of CSS, and I'm going to apply the text dash blue dash 500. So let me just refresh this page. It takes a bit of time for this app CSS to render. So you can see when I on click this, the input turns into a blue color. So now we're just going to add a bg dash black and translate y as -9 and translate x as -4. So if I refresh this page now, it takes a bit of the seconds. I don't know why it takes this much time to compile. So here it is now. If I just click this, the input just goes up. Now I want to reduce the size of this input, so I'm just going to have a scale of 75. So if I just refresh this page now, we will going to see the magic. Now wait for it. Yeah, now we go boom. You can see that the input goes up just like this Gmail page, like so. So that's it guys for this video. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. So make sure you have subscribed to my channel to watch this kind of awesome videos and tutorials on Tailwind CSS, React.js and etc stuffs like this. Goodbye.